This is my new Fuzz Face build, and there's something really cool inside this enclosure. But before we get into that, let's talk about the first cool feature, which is how to turn it on. It has the standard thing where you plug in the jack and that turns on the pedal. It makes it so the battery is turned on. But if you don't want to have to unplug the jack so your battery doesn't die, you can just turn the volume down all the way until it clicks, and then it turns it off. Now let's turn this around to see what's on the other side. And I have got some removable transistors. I found these sockets. They're super high quality. I'm not the first one to think of the idea to have removable transistors in a fuzz face, but I think I'm probably the only one to put a voltage meter along with that. The voltage meter makes it so you can adjust the bias perfectly to get it so it sounds the way it's supposed to when you change out the transistors. This comes with whoever buys this. I'm going to give them about 10 different sets of transistors. I've got a lot of silicone in there and a few germanium. Let's show you how to bias this thing really quick. I'm going to turn the pedal back on. This middle position is off for the voltage meter. It's a good idea to keep that off when you're using the pedal because it can introduce an annoying hum. That's why I put the off position so it doesn't drive people crazy. First, I'm going to put it over here towards the Q1 adjustment right here. This says 0.70 for germanium. We'll adjust it as close as we can to 0.70 volts, and it does not have to be accurate. And I think that probably is about as close as it can. I already biased it. Now let's switch this to Q2, and it's supposed to be around 4.5 volts for germanium. That's good. Now this is biased. It's ready to go. We'll turn that off, and you could start playing it. But now let's swap out the transistors. First, I'm going to turn this off. We'll pull these out. Now we'll put some silicone transistors in it. These are BC109s. This blue dot here tells you where it goes. This goes to Q2. There's a blue dot right there, and you line it up. The dot's on the side, and you put it on the same side as that blue dot is. Now we'll get Q1 right here. The red dot's right there, so we'll line that up. Now let's bias it. First I have to turn it on. Q1 for silicone is supposed to be about 1.40 volts. That's close enough. Now we'll go to Q2, and that's supposed to be around 6. Now let's go back to Q1 and fine tune it a bit. Now back to Q2, and there you go. Now it doesn't have to be exactly 6 volts. This is just what the manufacturer recommends, but you can mess around with it. You can, let's max this all the way up. It goes up to 6.12, or you can turn it way down, 1.62. That's going to give you a more gated sound. When you turn it all the way up, it's going to give you more sustain, maybe better cleanup, more drive. And there's one other feature in here. You'll notice this on-off switch. It says silicone. What that is that's basically the 1990s Dunloop thing. They started adding a capacitor to the circuit, which is why it sounds different from the vintage ones. Well, it's one of the reasons why. When you have a capacitor, it makes it so you can max the fuzz. You could turn it all the way up and you won't get this oscillation that you get sometimes if the transistor has a high HFE with silicone. That makes it so it doesn't do that. It's not on the vintage ones, so some of them oscillate when you have it turned up, and you have to turn it, the fuzz, just back it off a little bit, and then you can get that vintage tone. But if you want to max it out and have it do like the modern Dunloop thing, you switch this little switch, and then it's going to make it so you can max out the fuzz without getting any oscillation. If you like to see cool builds like this or learn about pedals and guitar stuff, then subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.